Well, good morning. Today, I have something pretty cool that I want to do and share with you. I painted 4 rocks to look like Santa Claus and his reindeer flying. And I'm going to turn the camera around to show you. Hold on. If I know how to do this, there we go. So, oops, my camera dropped. So there's the 4 rocks and the reindeer. And I don't think it's a great work of art, but it's going to be fun for somebody to have. Now, I don't know how they're going to display them because they're kind of shiny. Now, I didn't put any varnish on them yet, but I still will do that. And they'll be even shinier when I do that. And I'm going to use spray-on varnish because spray-on varnish, in my experience, works better than brush-on varnish. But anyway, so there's, and I don't have the 8 tiny reindeer. I just didn't. And I don't have Rudolph. But anyway, what do you think of that? That's kind of today's project. And it was fun to do. And the rest of the video is basically me showing you how I did it. And it's the first time I've ever done something like this before. So, let me turn this around. Whoops. How do you do this? There we go. So yeah, I had a reference photo up on my screen. I sort of kind of used it. But anyway, so let's get to work. I'll show you how I did this and the other ones right now. Okay. So, a little bit of a challenge this morning. Instead of painting a canvas or a greeting card, I want to paint these 4 rocks so that it makes a Santa Claus and his sleigh. Now, first I want to do is want to cover it with gesso. So that's not white paint. That's actually gesso. Let me show you. This is what it is. Gesso. I got a big old half gallon of it, or whatever size this is. It's just acrylic gesso. It's just it covers the surface of something so that you can paint on it. It's not good for watercolor, but it's good for water-based color like acrylic. So what I want to do is just kind of cover it. It might leave it a little bit white, but that's okay. Because, you know, like most surfaces when you paint, they're going to be white. And, of course, you got to let it dry first. But the one thing about rocks is that you got to paint both sides of them. But I'm not going to worry about the back side for this video. I'll do the back off camera. I just want to do the front. I want to get Santa Claus in his sleigh. And I want to get the reindeer on the other rocks. Let's see how I do. Hope I do a good job. What I want to do is, I know you, if you've been watching for a while, you might know that I painted 200 greeting cards for the art auction at the church, which is this coming Saturday. I've already delivered all 200 cards, plus I delivered a 4-foot by 3-foot canvas of a portrait I did of Jesus for the church. And they have all of that. They have the little cards, and they have the big canvas. And Robin also painted a landscape and a very creative painting of a butterfly. So she also donated those. She framed hers. I didn't frame mine. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if I could donate one more thing? And that's this idea here. These rocks that are going to be painted, I hope, to look like Santa Claus pulling his reindeer. The thing I don't know, and this is probably where I'm going to need Robin's help, is how do you set these up? Because you probably want them displayed in a way instead of just laying down flat on the table. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to let somebody else worry about that, because I don't have any good ideas for that. And, well, I have some ideas, but I have a feeling that other people have a better idea on what to do. Alright, so I just have a little thin coat of gesso on all of these rocks on the surface that I want to paint. Just kind of smooth it out a little bit. I'm going to turn the camera off until it dries, and then I'll come back and start to paint. I think my approach is going to be mostly to do silhouettes. You know, somewhat, not completely silhouette, but yeah, not just black on color, but just, I don't know. You know what? I really don't know. So we're going to find out together. All right, let me turn off the camera and let them dry, and I'll be right back. Okay, I think they're dry. It's a little wet. It's not too bad. Oh yeah, still some wet on the side. Well, let me start with one of them. So I think this is probably the best candidate for the one with Santa Claus on it because of the shape. And I'll put the smallest one up front. That'll probably be Rudolph, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm going to do here. All right, so is that dry? Yeah, that's dry. Okay. So let me get the acrylic paint. Alright, I got a bunch of acrylic paint here. So let's see what I'm going to use. That's blue-gray. That might come in handy. I got so many of them. What is this one? Oh, that's blue. Let's use that. I think I want to use some yellow. I'm probably going to need some white. I probably have some white somewhere. Oh, wait a minute, here's another shade of blue. That might be good. What's this one? Oh, another shade of yellow, okay. Just yellow and blue and white, I think, is what I want to start with for the background. There's another yellow and there's a white. All right. All right. I'm being a mess and I'm being noisy. All right. So what I want to do first is I want to create a sky for them to fly in. It's got to be light and dark, like kind of at the same time. So let's put the paint on the palette. This is different than what I normally do, isn't it? All right, here we go. Just a little bit of blue. Whoa, it's coming out fast. It was anxious. I think the blue was anxious to get onto the painting. All right, here's some yellow. Oh, yellow's not as excited as the blue was. All right, there we go. Oh, there's some yellow. All right, got it. Got it on there. Thank you, sir. Or man, whatever you are. Here's another shade of yellow. I gotta buy more. Can you see the slight difference in those two yellows? Let's use some of this blue. Can you tell I'm having fun? Oh, that's a very light blue. Let me see this one. This one's called blue gray. I don't know if I'm going to use much of that, but we'll see. Let's see what I have. Oh, there we go. And so that's not white right there. That's gesso. And I might use it as a thinner or something. We'll find out. There's some white. You know what I need? I need Payne's Gray. I have a feeling that's going to be helpful. So let me see if I can find Payne's Gray in here. This ultramarine blue, I might use that. Alright, here's a lemon yellow. Did I use this already? Let's see. See how this comes out. Oh, that's a different shade. See, they're all different shades, and I don't know which one I want to use. So I'm just going to put them all. And here's the Payne's Gray. It's a different brand. It's hard to find Payne's Gray, but if you look for it, you'll be very happy to have it. Because it's way better for a lot of things than black. But it serves as a very dark way to I don't know, to kind of create little moods and stuff. I'm going to try this one, ultramarine blue. Let's see how that one looks. See, they're all different. You notice that? So you have all these different, like you have 3 different shades of blue, 3 different shades of yellow. There's white. There's this kind of a gray blue, so it's maybe a 4th shade of blue. And then the Payne's Gray, which is almost like black. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to paint all the rocks so that they have the same basic background. And I'm not sure how to do this. So I'm going to start with the Payne's Gray. I'm just going to kind of add it to it. This is going to be like the nighttime sky that Santa Claus is riding in. I'm using a rather stiff brush, by the way. And when I'm all done, what I want to do is spray it with varnish, you know, to make it shiny. I want this to be something that somebody buys at the auction and they put it up as a display in their home or something, you know. So now I'm going to add a little bit of this blue to there, kind of mix them together as I work. And we'll get the tops of all these rocks. We'll establish what is the top just by painting. So that's going to be the top there, the top there, and the top there. So those are the tops of the rock, like in Rockefeller Center. The top of the rock. Top of the rock, baby. Did you ever go to Top of the Rock in Rockefeller Center? What did we used to call it? We didn't call it that. We called it, I don't know what we called it. I guess we called it Rockefeller Center. We didn't call it Top of the Rock. That became something they called it later on in years. Top of the Rock. It's a good name. Top of the Rock. And then 30 Rock. They call it 30 Rock, but I don't remember that as a kid. I remember just calling it Rockefeller Center. So this is the top of this rock. And the top of this rock. You see how quickly it dries, by the way? When you're using acrylic on canvas, you have to work with a medium so that it can slow down the drying. Or you can get this is called a drying agent or a drying retardant, I think they call it. And it slows down the drying time. Now with oil, oil takes forever to dry. So you can work it nice even a day later, 2 days later. The oil painting I did of Jesus, I found a mistake on it that I didn't like a day later, maybe even 2 days later, and I was still able to work it. So that was good. All right, let me just get all three of these rocks. Can you see that one? Is that one out of the picture? Let me just keep painting it. See, the thing is, I'm going to have to paint the backs of them also, but like I said in the beginning, I'm going to do that off camera. I think. Yeah. Makes no sense to paint them on camera because there's nothing to it. Alright, now that's the back, the tops of all the rocks. Doesn't look like much, right? Alright, now what I want to do is add some of these shades of blue. Just kind of spread it around on there, kind of make it mysterious. Just get a lot of blue and black. See, it's not black, it's Payne's gray, but it looks like black. I'm treating it as if it's black. There. Just mixing it together. These blues and these blacks. That's all I'm really trying to do for now. Try to get as much around the edges as possible so that I don't have to worry about the way it looks from the side, because these are three-dimensional and people will see them from all different angles. So in a way, just have fun if you're going to do something like this. And you know, there are so many ideas too with painting rocks. I've painted rocks before. This is not the first time. I have painted rocks to look like hamburgers. I have painted rocks to look like landscapes. And what I was thinking about doing with this idea, instead of doing 4 rocks that, you know, are Santa Claus and his reindeer, I was thinking about just doing like 1 rock with like a Bible verse and then a picture that kind of represents the Bible verse. And I might still do that because I got a bunch of rocks that I bought from Lowe's. I bought a bag of rocks. A bag of rocks. Alright, let me just add some light blues here. And spread it around. Mix it in. Yeah. Just get these light blues in there. And I want to put some dark blues on the bottom. And then some yellows. Kind of like the stars and the bright spots, the moon, all the things that Santa Claus would be flying in front of. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. We're going to see it together. But I think the first thing, obviously, was the gesso. The second thing is the first layer. And I'm kind of dabbing it on, kind of very. It's not really unusual for me to do it this way, because this is how I paint everything, I think. Paint a lot of stuff this way. Alright, right, now I think I'll see. My problem with adding yellow right now is that it'll look green. I don't want it to look green, so maybe what I'll do is I'll add a little bit of white, and then I'll add yellow to it later on after it dries. But I just want some light right here, like a light area, so all these blues kind of get lightened up a lot right here in the middle, almost like Santa Claus is flying through the Milky Way. Not the candy bar, no. I'm not talking about the candy bar. I gotta stay away from candy bars. I really gotta lose weight. Whew. I know. Some of you are blessed without having to lose weight. I'm blessed with needing to lose weight. Oh, that's a good way to look at it. I'm blessed with needing to lose weight. That's right. There's a lot of people in this world that are hungry. That's not one of my things. So I should be very happy. God has put me in a place and a body that always gets fed. I may not have much money, but I get a lot of food. Somehow it always finds me. Somehow food always knows where I am. All right, this is kind of working out kind of pretty, isn't it? Yeah. All right, and then I want to get the bottom to kind of have. Oh, they're starting to be really pretty. All right, now I want to get the bottom to kind of have that darkness back in there again. So let it shift from dark to light to dark. And some of that'll be a little bit ragged, maybe looking like Santa's flying over a landscape or something. Yeah, maybe that's the idea. Just keep adding it on there. I'll have to turn the camera off while the first layer dries. There we go. A couple of dark spots there. Yeah, it's working out. It's kind of like he's flying through the galaxy, delivering toys. It's an interesting story, the Santa Claus story. I'm sure there's 100 Santa Claus stories all over the world. Every culture probably has their own version, or something even different, completely different. You wonder how many stories were started out as just a verbal stories, like spoken and not written down anywhere. And I wonder when they started to illustrate them. Maybe stories started out as just illustrations, you know? All right, there we go. There's our first run through to paint these rocks. Let me kind of spin them around, make sure I got the edges, so there's not too much more to go. Oh, there's a spot right there. Kind of keep them so when I paint the back, I don't have a whole lot of area to cover. Try to get as much down the sides as possible. Yeah, I still want to add the yellow, but I gotta wait for the blue to dry, otherwise it'll turn green. I don't want green in this picture, I don't think. I don't see a need for green. Okay, now, so those are our beginning rocks. Can you see them? Did I put them in the camera okay? That's two things. You gotta do the camera and you gotta do the painting. All right, I'm gonna let them dry and I'll be right back. Okay, they're pretty dry now. So, yeah, let me set them up so I have them the way I like them. So this is going to be the one with Santa Claus on it. And I think this will be the one with the first set of reindeer. And is that upside down? No, wait. Now I don't know how I did it. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. All right. So there, maybe that's how we're going to do that. So that's the order right there of the 4 stones. Now let's go ahead and add some of that yellow. And maybe I should add some orange to that. Just a little bit. So I got my orange here. There's an orange. I'll add it to the palette. Whoa, it's a mess. I am a mess. All right. All right, let me just add a little bit of orange and yellow. I don't want to do too much, just a little bit of a hint, I think. I think the yellow should be more of the color than orange. All right, yeah, yellow's got to be the main one. Orange has to just be the little areas. Just a little, because I want this like golden light, almost, that somehow is associated with the flying reindeer. It's almost like they put out this light. You know what? I can add some white to that yellow too and make it a little bit lighter. Yeah, just kind of sparkling across the painting. This yellow and this white. That's the ticket right there. That yellow and white mix. Tiny bit of orange. Maybe on the edges. Just bring it across. All 4 rocks. All 4 of these rocks are going to get that same treatment. It's okay to put some dots everywhere because this is like magic dust or something. Magic's dust. Here we go. Just keep adding some white to it and stuff. I just want to make it magical. Magical is the key here, I think. Okay. Is it magical? Okay. A little too much orange. Let me bring down that orange a little bit. And over here, just a little bit here. Maybe it dissipates by the time it gets to Rudolph. Maybe it's not so. Maybe put that orange in there. I hear the cars outside. Must be time for people to go to work. But yesterday the traffic was so bad. I had to go to the doctor yesterday. That's why I didn't do an art assignment, by the way. But I had to go to the doctor, and the traffic was just unbelievable. But you know what they say, when you're in traffic and you're complaining about traffic, you're part of the problem. Because I'm out there too. My car's in that mess. So that means I'm part of the problem. Alright, these are, I guess you can tell, these are like stars. Just all over the place. Just little stars, or maybe they're snowflakes. I don't know what they are. Maybe they're just magical spots. Just little spots of magic. The magic stones. The magic stones of Santa Claus. The magic stones of Christmas. Yeah, I was thinking about doing some stones of the three wise men also. I'm trying to think how to do that though, because I could have one stone per wise guy, and then each one, of course, would be on a camel, I guess. That's kind of the standard thing with the three wise men. They always rode camels. When I was a kid, I took accordion lessons, and the little music school was around the block from where I lived, and my accordion teacher was named Carl, and I really loved going to see him, and I really am so grateful that my parents gave me those lessons. It wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to learn how to play piano, but they didn't teach piano near my home, so accordion was the next best thing, I guess. But I'm so grateful that I know that now. I still play accordion with Robin. She plays the mandolin, and we play on the first Friday of each month. There's an art walk. They call it art walk. And we don't display any art, believe it or not, even though we're both artists. We just sit and play music. And other artists have their art out there. But anyway, what's that got to do with camels? My accordion teacher would send me across the street after my lesson, and I would get him a coffee and a package of cigarettes. Back then, they would sell cigarettes to kids. Yeah. I remember going across the street. I don't think he smoked Camel, though. I think he smoked Cool, I think. I don't know. All right, there's our 4 backgrounds. And now the task at hand is, well, first you got to let them dry. And then the task at hand is to paint Santa Claus on his sleigh on this one. And then the reindeer on the other 3. Okay. But I got to let them dry first. I got to move these brushes. They're kind of in the way. I don't need that many brushes anyway. All right. Where do I put them? Put them in my cup. All right. Let me turn off the camera, let them dry, and I'll be right back. Okay. Let me do one rock at a time now. Let's get the Santa Claus one in the picture. And I have to have a very small brush, I think. Get a couple small brushes out. Just to make sure I can do Santa Claus. All right, here we go. Here we go. Can you see it? Is it bright enough? Oh, let's see. I'm going to use some, what is this called? Burnt umber. I think I'll use burnt umber, and I'll mix it with something, I don't know what. Alright, there's my burnt umber. I'm going to have red also. Santa Claus's coat and all that. Let's see, which red do I want? I'm going to put both of them out here. Got a lot of colors on here. Don't need much of it though. Let's see what this red looks like. You really can't tell until it's on the palette. Yeah, that's a brighter red right there. Alright. Alright, kids, here we go. This is the part I'm nervous about. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be my Santa Claus rock, right? So let's see, the sled is real small, so right there. All right, well, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Okay, sketch it in there first. It gets real small down here, and then it comes up at the end over here, and then it goes, has a little bit of a loop, almost like a Viking ship, almost the shape of a Viking ship, I think. Okay. I guess. I don't know. Do you think I don't know what I'm doing? You're right. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not even sure that paint underneath it is dry yet, but that's okay. I'll just work with it. But that's going to be the shape of his sleigh. Come down here. Let's hope I can do this, because I think this would be a cool idea for somebody to have. Is Santa in his sleigh on rocks. Now let's get the rudders. Is that what you call the things that he slides on the snow in? Here we go. Let me make them a little darker. There we go. There's the rudder right there. Not rudder. Rungs? What do you call those things? Can you tell I'm just having fun? What is my number one rule with painting? Have fun. Just have fun with the painting. We have a class in town where the artists come in and they have nude models, male and female nude models. And Robin and I went to one of them one time, and you would think that it would be a little bit nervous for everybody, but it wasn't. It was fun, and I thought, this is what you're supposed to be going through when you're painting. And the young lady who was posing was just so comfortable. So I thought that was awesome. All right, now I want to take a little bit of this white. Let's see if I can make it, if I can lighten this brown. Let me add some yellow to it. Maybe even some red. Yeah, I think that's the idea. Make some orange. Just orangish brown. I think on the back of the sleigh. A little bit different color. It's got a little bit different because it's got the light hitting it from the side. There we go. That looks good. And then I think on the edge here, a little bit of white. A little bit of light hitting it. Just real gentle. Real gentle. Alright, now let's put Santa in there. Put some white here. Hold on. Just a little reflection right there. Something. Okay. maybe on the rungs too. I need one of those tiny, tiny brushes. This one right here. Just real tiny. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And a little bit of white right along the edge here. Here we go. Now we can see some of the details a little bit better. Alright, now we got to put Santa Claus in the sleigh. Use this brush here. First I get some of the inside of the sleigh a little bit glowing with orange, I think. I'll worry about the toys in a little bit. Alright, well, Santa Claus, let's see. He'd be sitting right about here. I'm assuming Santa sits around here somewhere. He's kind of got a body like me. He's got that girth going on. He's got that girth. Let's make him girthy. Girthy Santa. Sorry, Santa, I don't mean to be offending you, but alright, let's get his hand out here. Alright, Santa, you're sitting on something. I don't know what you're sitting on. I have to put a seat there. Alright. Yeah, I have to put some kind of a seat there. There's got to be something he's sitting on. Oh, I used blue. I should have used the Payne's gray. Okay. I think he should have a bright red hat. And the hat should be blowing in the wind, of course, because he's in the sky. And his beard should be big and white. There we go. Let's get that very dark red right there. Give him a little more girth. Okay. Oh, I need a clean brush. Clean brush. Okay, now we're going to get the white, and then I'm going to use... Let's see. Got to put some little white on his wrist. And some white for his beard and his jacket. To be honest with you, this is going to have to be blue because it's too bright. But I'll start out with white. Then his hat, of course. And his beard. Yeah, that needs to be blue, not white. So let me add some blue to that. See, it looks like it's white, but it's not. Add some blue. There we go. Add a little bit of darkness to his... Oops. Let me get that napkin over here. So I can wipe the brush. Clean the brush. Get the paint off of the brush. Alright, let me get some of that Payne's gray into the back of his jacket. Get some shadow in there. Same thing with his hat. Here we go. I think we're starting to see Santa Claus come to life now. Little by little. Got a little Santa Claus in there. I got new eyeglasses and I'm not really used to them yet. There we go. Alright, do I have a brush I haven't used yet? Let me take all these brushes and put them in the water so they don't get hard. I have paint on these brushes. Alright. Now what I want to do is a little bit, a little dab of orange, I think. Right there. Right there on his hand. He should have different color mittens, I think. Right there. Alright, now I gotta get that little. I clean the brush. I think this is gonna be the hardest part of Santa Claus. Alright, let me think about this a second. A little bit. His hat should be a little bit easier to see. There we go. Makes it a little bit easier. Just kind of exaggerate some of those reflections on him. There we go. Does that look like a good Santa Claus? Now I gotta put gifts in the back. I use a little bit bigger brush. Okay. Let's make some gifts in the back. Lots of gifts, gift wrapped gifts, toys, all kinds of things. Just lots of different colors. He's bringing toys to children all over the world. Did you have a favorite Christmas story? I love Christmas stories. There are so many. We all have some heartbreaking stories because the way life is. Things have happened to us. Things have happened to us, you know, that led up to Christmas in some cases, and sometimes we have bad memories of things that we're supposed to have only good memories, but there is no supposed to. There's no such thing as supposed to. I guess. You could argue with me on that. Go ahead. Please argue with me. Discuss these things with me. Discuss these notions of mine. I know you're smart. I know you are. I've read some of your comments and you guys are outstanding. It's a real joy, really, to be doing this channel. There's so many of you that have become like friends. I never have met any of you, I don't think. You come up to me one day at the First Friday Art Walk. Well, does Santa Claus look okay to you, or should I make him more silhouetted? See, now I'm not sure what to do with him. Should I make it brighter behind him? If I do that, am I going to regret it? I think I might regret it if I do that. So these are just, all these little dots back here are just basically gifts. I guess I can make some of them square. Some of them maybe a little bit more red. I think that's good enough. I think that's Santa Claus. I can see that it's Santa Claus. All right, we got one part done. I think I have to put a very, very, very skinny line that leads to the reindeer. So he's holding that line. There it is. That line goes all the way across. Gonna make it go all the way across to the reindeer on the other rocks. I wonder what Santa Claus would be driving if he was invented in the 21st century. What would he be driving? A Tesla? He would be driving a drone. You know, one thing I think I can do is I can make the background behind the sled a little brighter. That was the whole idea before with the background. Make it a little bit brighter. Maybe a few more snowflakes or stars. All right. Well, there's Santa Claus on the rock. Now the reindeer. Oh boy. Here we go. Let's see how I do on these guys. Now what do I want for them? I guess I just want to start with... I'm not going to worry about 8 reindeer. I don't think so. Maybe I'll put 2 on this rock. Let's start out with the body and the neck. I'll get the legs with a smaller brush. Let's just do the body and the neck first. Well, there's the body of one, and here's the body of another one. The body and the neck. All right, here we go. You know what? I can do the body and the neck on all of them. Since I'm now skilled at the body and the neck. All right, just the body and the neck. Body and neck. Then we'll worry about the nose and the legs. Body and neck. They look like hockey sticks. And finally on this one, I think the body, that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just have 5. 5 reindeer. We won't worry about sticking with that old poem of 8 tiny reindeer. We'll just have a body and a neck on 5 of them. That will make them into reindeer. They look like reindeer already. Look at that. It didn't take much. All right, now I need a smaller brush. I need a much smaller brush. All right, now, you know what we need? we need everything else. So let's start with the back one first. And I'm just using burnt umber for the color. Just one leg coming out. And just kind of fly in there. And the back one does the same thing. And up front, got one that comes out like this, and then down, like he's flying. And then the other one that comes out like this. And then the nose, the ear, and the nose. They're very gentle animals, I guess. They seem to be. And then, of course, those big antlers. Here we go. Antler time. This is the fun part. This is where you make them look like trees. Right? Little trees. Happy little trees, like Bob Ross would say. Alright, there's one reindeer. Okay, he's not too bad. I'll add some highlights to him. Alright, Mr. Second Reindeer here. I don't know if you're Donner or Blitzen or what you are, but here we go. Same thing. Put a leg up there, stretching out here. Another one up front, and this way, and this way. Look at those reindeer just appearing all of a sudden. A little tiny nose. And then these little trees. Whoa, that's a long tree. He's got long antlers. Whoa, that's a little too big. That's alright. I'm not worried about it. You know why? Because I'm having fun. Alright, there's two reindeer. Let me do two more. Oh man, this is tedious. Alright, there's his nose. There's his nose. And then the front leg that goes out like that. Look at this. I got the whole thing memorized. Alright, now the back leg. I don't know. I feel like I'm not giving him four legs, but these two back legs are kind of like one is hiding the other. So I'm not too worried about it. And I forgot the tail. Alright, and then the little ear, little nose, little ear, and then of course those beautiful antlers that look like trees. Treetops. All right. I'm going to add some highlights to these guys too. Okay, stretch your legs out here. How are we doing over here? Does it look all right? Gotta get that other leg in here. There it is. Alright, there's two more reindeer. One more reindeer. It's very shiny. I'm having a hard time seeing it. It's reflective. Go ahead and put those antlers in there. There we go. It's like big old trees. There's one leaf coming out like that. And down. And this one back here. Just flying reindeer. Who came up with that idea? Alright, now they all have to have Are they in the picture? How am I doing on the camera work here? Alright, now we have to have the line that connects them. So I'll just use Payne's Gray for that line. You'll have a line that connects them all together. I've never flown reindeer, so I don't really know how this works. But I'm guessing, I'm taking a big old guess at this one. If you've flown reindeer, let me know. Let me know if you've flown reindeer. I saw reindeer. I saw a reindeer right in Ocala. It was a Christmas event, and somebody brought some reindeer to look at. Alright, now I think what I need is that tiny, tiny brush that I use. Let me clean it off. What I want to do with that tiny brush is I want to put some highlights on these reindeer so that they're easier to see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Let me put the palette down. I think what I want to do is use a little bit of white. Or maybe, yeah, let me use white. I was going to use yellow, but I think white will be better. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of a highlight on their backs. Like they're catching some light on their antennas. I mean, their antlers. Just a little bit so you can see them better. I was not sure if I should use white or yellow for this. I think white is the better color. I don't know if you can see what I did. See how I put that little bit of white on them? Alright, that's the front guy. I guess it doesn't really matter what order they're in. Alright, let me put some very fine lines on here. Boy, this is really, you really need a tiny little brush for this. Almost like one hair. But I'm kind of taking liberties here. It's almost impressionistic at this point. Just to create a pretty, pretty picture, that's all. And one more. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Let me put this little tiny. What I like is when somebody looks at a work of art and they are in awe, like not because it's so great, but because there's something magical about it. That's what I like. That's what I'm trying to do here, is to make it magical. Alright, now let's kind of put them together and see what we think. Well, what do you think? What do you think? Let me put the camera toward them. Well, are you okay with that? How's that look? Can you see Santa Claus okay? And now all I have to do is put some varnish on them. And I don't know. I think they're done. I think my Santa Claus and the reindeer are done. Okay. Well, that's the end of the video. I still have to paint the back. I still have to varnish it, but I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.